Doing an MBA at the same time with your partner is quite an adventure, and it's a growing experience. It's definitely one that I'm very glad that you were there going through the program with me to sort of have these sort of shared experiences.
I think most people decide, study together, then become spouses. We kind of took a different approach and did the opposite. So we spouses first, we got married, and then 4 months later became classmates. At the same time, at the end of it, we had the shared experience to talk about. So we obviously could relate to everything one was saying because we were in the same classroom all the time. My name is Tim McGrath. I am originally born and raised in Tennessee in the United States. I moved to Washington, D.C., met my husband in 2018, and then moved to Berlin.
My name is Krog. I was born and raised in Minnesota. I also lived in Washington, D.C. for about 10 years before we moved to Berlin together, where we did the full-time MBA program at ESMT Berlin. An MBA for me was very much so about sort of where do I want to be long-term? What sort of career trajectory am I on, and how can I shift that or jump to another level? And I very much so sort of saw the MBA as that sort of pathway to open up doors and opportunities that I otherwise would not have been able to accomplish.
I was in healthcare, so I worked with patients. So I was the manager at a clinic. I was doing brain injury and stroke rehab. I was in a hospital. I worked patient care for 10 years. And then I was ready to take a step in a different direction. I was looking more for a pivot, a harder pivot for me. And I think from there, the MBA was like this puzzle kind of came together. It was like, oh, this is going to give us both what we need and what we want.
The fact that we applied together was a reflection that this was very much so something that we're deciding, in a future together as a unit. We wanted to grow our lives together, obviously with different career paths, different jobs, but we knew that we sort of saw this as kind of an investment in our shared growth actually together, not just individually.
But ESMT was the first one to be like, here's a conversation. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Like, who are you? And I think that they did a really nice job of creating this community of people that are going to be open to that. We did the MBA together, which has been a big journey, but then we kind of were thrust into this community of people already from around the world. It became our little home away from home. And I think there's a shared experience when you're all in a new country, a new place, that experience really binds you in a way.
Those sort of relationships are really enduring. It was really kind of fascinating to sort of see firsthand Tim go through this sort of transformational process of, kind of reimagining his career, learning, topics that he was not familiar with, and then establishing himself as sort of a leader within our class.
And I think our world just got so much bigger. And I think that's the biggest change. It's like for us, our world was DC, but now our world is so big. And we have friends, we have colleagues. I've seen Ryan give presentations in front of rooms of hundreds of people from all over the world.
The MBA at ESMT Berlin is a transformational experience.
If you're really looking to kind of shake things up, or you really want to grow in a way that you wouldn't otherwise, I think that it's an incredibly worthwhile investment.
Do you have the courage to actually sort of take actions, to take those steps to actually reimagine your life and really sort of put yourself on a different path?
I think that's probably the theme, is are you brave or are you crazy? And I think that's what an MBA is about. And I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. I think it's a little bit of brave and crazy, but one that you'll not regret.